Welcome to another episode of Well-Adjusted Mama. I'm your host, Dr. Laura Brayton, and today's guest is Laquita Brooks speaking on building a tribe. Laquita Brooks is a successful serial entrepreneur owning multiple hair salons over 24 years, and for more than 16 years, she has been a realtor and real estate investor. Along with her husband, she owned and operated a package and delivery company with nearly 24 employees. Her extensive business experience and knowledge, combined with her humble beginnings, give her a unique ability to connect, empower, and create results. As a life coach and motivational speaker, she offers simple, direct solutions to some of life's most challenging problems, believing that everyone has a story and it's where you go, not where you came from, that matters most. She inspires women to take the leap and shift. To shift, she says, requires 3 things: giving yourself permission to be great, changing your surroundings, and clarifying your vision. Whether it's through her signature empowerment events like the Ultimate Vision Board Party, Stop Waiting, Do It Now conference, Finish Strong seminar, or speaking to audiences around the world, the Motivational Maven is always ready and willing to help you push past your limitations and step into your greatness. For more information, check out her website at laquitabrooks.com. Hi, Laquita. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on today.
Hi, Laura. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. So you're the Motivational Maven. And I think, as moms, we all need motivation to help keep us going at times. Motherhood's stressful. Being a working mom is really stressful. So talk to me about, what you do, who you are, and kind of how you got into supporting and coaching women.
Okay, well, I'm Laquita Brooks, the Motivational Maven, and I have been an entrepreneur. I can say probably since I was in high school. I was always the one who wanted to be adventurous and try to make my own money. But doing this and challenging, I was a teenage mom. I got pregnant at 17. I had my daughter, my first child, at 18. And it was a challenge because I was a single mom. And because of that, I felt like I was somewhat of a failure very early on in life. That, how am I going to get past this? How am I going to do this? I'm by myself. I'm alone. So there was a lot of emotions that was going along with that, on top of that being a teenager, right? But I made the decision that, hey, I'm here. This is what it is. I'm going to fight for it. And I became a hairstylist. I went to school while I was pregnant, 9 months, big and heavy. And I got my license. And then from there, I wanted to go into entrepreneurship and get my own store for a beauty salon. And along the way, I got married when my daughter was 7 years old. He came with one daughter. I had one daughter, and then now we have one together. So we went into the business of subcontracting. We work with FedEx, but we subcontract, and we have our own fleet of trucks that do package and delivery. That is his love. It is something that's been blissful for us, but I'm there to support him. But I wanted to find my own way. I wanted to have something for myself. You see, when we get married, sometimes you give up some of you. You can possibly, let me say that, you can possibly give up you, or you feel like you're giving up you, or you're losing you because you want to be supportive of that man, and you want to be there for your kids, or your partner, that is, and you want to be there for your kids, and then you feel like you're losing yourself. So even though we were entrepreneur and we were in this together, I still was feeling like I didn't have something for me. I was losing me, right? And so along the way, I needed to find myself. And I felt like if I had lost myself, because when you are doing things like this and you feeling like you have a down point in your life, something that is happening in your life, you always feel like you're alone. I don't know anyone who doesn't feel like they're not alone. Because for one, you don't want to share it with others because you don't know what people are going to think. Now you're becoming vulnerable, and you're sharing this with the world who might look at you in a certain way or see that as a weakness. So for me, I felt like I was alone. And so I decided to reach out and get myself a coach. When I did that, it was so empowering for me because she had to mirror me and let me see myself. and see what she saw in me because I had lost myself, remember? So when she was able to let me see myself through her, then was when I said, okay, I have this issue. I know now who I am. She let me recognize, she made me realize, she made me understand, she made me wake up. And when I did that, I said, okay, I want to help others because I know I'm not alone. I am not alone with feeling like I'm by myself and that I don't have to give up me when I became a parent. I don't have to give up me when I got married because I felt like I wanted to be there for them. I wanted to be their support system. I want to make sure the kids are all right. I want to make sure that he has his way and everything, all those moving parts that come along. I know someone out there understands exactly what I'm saying. You got to be the cook. You need to be the counselor. You need to be there for you need to be there to help as a teacher. You are the chauffeur, the cab driver. You're all these parts. And when it came down to myself at the end of the day, I didn't have anything left. So my cup became empty and I needed to refill. And that's why I wanted to help people because if your cup is empty and you're losing you, see, we need to become more selfish. And that's a good selfish. The good selfish is where you turn around and say, let me be about me first. Let me fill my cup first. Because when I fill my cup, then I can give from my overflow. And my overflow is good stuff. It's got all the honey and the lemon and the tea and it's got everything in that cup. And when I give it to others, they're going to get some good juice from that. They're going to get something good from that. But if I'm trying to give people from my empty cup, they're not getting anything but the scraps, the bottom of it. They're not getting anything left but the little drips. That's not enough. So we're all failing in the end, and you feel like that. You're not getting the best of the best. So I want it to be motivating for others, especially women, to give your best. And the only way you can do that is to become selfish and give to yourself first.
That's right. I mean, that's the mantra here is mama self-care, right? Is we have to put our own oxygen mask on first before we can help everyone else around us.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about like when you were hitting, let's say your rock bottom, your cup was completely empty. Like, how did you get out of that? Like when you're already so depleted, that's sometimes the hardest time to fill yourself up. What did you do?
The wake up call for me, I had a cousin who was very near and dear to me. And she passed. She was only 1 year older than me. We didn't know. We thought everything was going to be fine. She went in for surgery. She came out. She was awake. She was alert. And she was okay for a day. And then she started deteriorating. And then next thing you know, she was gone. And that was like a wake up call for me. It was like I started to ask the questions to myself. If you were to die today, would you say, will you be okay with you've done everything you came here to do? You did it to your best ability. You did not live mediocre, and you're okay. You're fine with that. I couldn't give that answer a yes. I couldn't say that. So, okay, now what? Then I knew I had to get up, dust myself off, and I had to fight. And that's what I decided to do. And fight doesn't mean that you won't fall along the way. It don't mean you might pause, you might get a little down spill every now and then because it's a road. You got to climb that hill. But one thing I know is that I couldn't give up. Because if I came here for a mission, but doggone it, I'm going to fulfill that mission because I kept thinking about her over and over and over because we were so close.
So her death was such a blessing for you to have that wake up call and help you recognize that you were like in survival mode prior, right? And then it was an opportunity now to switch to thrive.
Yeah. I decided I was going to thrive in every possible best way that I could. Now, have I gotten it perfect? No, because there are some days that I feel like I didn't, I didn't feed the kids well as they are. I left them to where we had a fast food more than one day this week when I felt like it should have been more vegetables and stuff. But you have to learn to forgive yourself and say, it's going to be okay. they won't die. They'll be okay. I'm still, we're all still here together. Everything's fine. It's just going to be a little trail for a moment until we get back on the right path. See, everything's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be peaches and cream all the time. But guess what? It's well worth it because I'm finding who I am. I'm becoming me. And that's what matters. And in the essence of it, what I love is them seeing that in me. Listen, just a little while ago, my daughter, she's in pastry school, and my oldest actually, and she says, I was talking to her about, customer service, being the mommy and telling her because she wants to get her own bakery shop when she finishes. And I'm just, being a mom and talking to her a little bit about it. And she's like, Mom, I got it. Okay, I understand. I've heard you and I've seen you because I haven't told you all I'm a real estate agent and an investor too. And so she's like, I've heard you on the phone talk to your clients, so I understand. So I was like, okay, she's listening to me. All right, she's paying attention. And I love that because now I see that what I'm doing, my children, they actually are paying attention. So I'm yes, and I'm working on leaving that legacy. I'm working on them. They see me even when I think they don't. And that really helps for the push too and the climb.
Right, because this is an opportunity to show our children, especially the daughters, right, about what's possible for them based on what they see from their moms.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
So after you had that wake-up call with your cousin's death, what were the changes that you started to implement in your life?
Well, I started to take in inventory. What is it that I want? What does Laquita want? What do I want out of life? What do I want out of my marriage? What do I want? What do I want to do? Who do I want to still be when I grow up? Even though I was an adult, I still was saying that. Who do you really want to be? Even though I had flipped houses. Even though we had the contracting business. Even though I had beauty salons, I still felt like I was losing me. Because what happens is that even though you went to school, you went to college for something, you change in life. And sometimes let me tell you something. Sometimes you go to college and you do things, it's not always for you. And I don't want to hinder anybody from education because I think it's awesome. You should get all the education you can get. But for me, it was like, I liked school, but I didn't love school. I loved to be creative and I loved hairstyling. I loved flipping houses and I loved seeing them from, something that goes from zero or being something, nothing, or dilapidated, or somebody coming in and getting their hair done and their hair is a mess and just making everything look fabulous. I love transforming. But, you change in life. You can shift. And it's okay. Don't feel guilty about shifting because sometimes you do things that's not always for you. You might have done that because mom and dad said you were the first one to graduate from college. And I love it that you're an attorney, or I love it that you're a doctor. And that's okay. But I didn't want to feel guilty because people started questioning me when I retired from doing hair. Like, why do you want to stop? You were so good. And they try to make you question your shift. Don't question your shift. If it's there, then it is valid. It is there that is something for you. It's proof that you should be seeking out. Even if it's something that you fail at or you say, okay, I did that, got out of my system. Because you come here, if you believe like I do, I believe that I come here only once. And Laquita may not come back no more. So I want to do everything that comes through my body and my brain that's a thought that I feel like I should be trying to see where it would go or see what it's about, see if it's something for me to do because it's so freeing. I want to be free. I don't want to be one who's held back and say because someone said, I still want you to come do my hair. Because I did hold on to it for a while. I held on to it for a while, even to the end. I was like, I knew it was time. As I was styling it behind the hair to chair doing, I was looking out the window saying, I know there's more out there. I feel it. There's no denying it, but I wasn't seeking it out. So I don't want anyone to feel guilty about wanting to pursue any other dreams, because we can be multifaceted and different phases, and we call them seasons, different seasons in your life. We have those. It's okay to make a shift and to seek out which way it will go.
That's right. And I think that's really important for women to hear because, especially like you said, if you're good at something, you've been doing it for a while, there's that comfortability, right? Like you know it, you own it, and it's easy, quote unquote, but maybe it's not fulfilling you the way it did in the past or ever did. And, it's important to trust that it is okay to shift. And if that and to take the leap, right? Because that's scary too to do something new. And, in the beginning, you're not going to be as good at it as you were the other skill, but that's because it's new. You got to take baby steps.
That's right. That's right. And so when you are scared, when you're doing something, it's only because you're going into the unknown zone. Like you're going into an area you haven't been there before. You don't know much about it. You don't know what's going to happen. But I want to say, do it scared, no matter what. Because you don't want to be woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but didn't. You need to go and do it, because I remember, because I love seniors. I go talk to senior citizens. Most of my best friends are senior citizens. I love them because they're so free, right? They don't, what you see is what you get. They just say whatever's on their mind and that's it, And so talking to them, I have heard different people's life stories about what they wish they could have done. I wish I would have been a pilot. I wish I would have went to school. I wish I would have wrote that book. All of those wishes. And those were the things that really encouraged me to say, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person on that rocking chair sitting on my front porch thinking about, oh, I didn't do it. Why? I just didn't do it. I was afraid. Or, I just didn't have the courage. You need to do it scared. Do it knees knocking. Do it while you're crying. Just do it. Just step out. I'm telling you, you won't regret it.
Mm-hmm. So true. And yeah, any change is going to, have some fear with it. And that's okay. I think that's normal, right? Our brain is going into that protective, keep us safe. But keeping us safe doesn't keep us free, right? So there's that difference that we have to evolve beyond and get out of that primal, safety zone.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk more about, essentially how to build a tribe, because that's essential for moms who need help really with childcare and household duties to have time for themselves. So what did they do?
So, I can speak more about me and some of the friends. We decided, here are some things that you can do and that have worked for me. I have a friend who her son and my son are friends, and she doesn't live too far from me. So we work it out with that. Like we've even talked about, I'll cook a big meal. I'm here from New Orleans, you all. So we got red beans and rice down here. And I'm telling you, they are a lifesaver because they go a long way. So I'll fix a big pot of beans and then we'll split it. If I pick up her kids, if it's my turn or she needs help because she's running behind, she knows that I'm there. She calls me or texts me and I'm there. I'm just going to pick her kids up and I make sure that they're fed. So when she gets home, she doesn't have to worry about that. So we kind of have this knit. You need to build a tribe of people you can trust, that you can put on your roster and you can call when you need that. Because listen, even if you're single or you're married, you still need date time. You still need me time, right? And you have emergency things that have happened, that you need someone to be on your team. So whether it's parents, it's friends, or you need to budget out getting a nanny, those are the things that have helped me. They have saved me to be able to do the things that I love to do, because that's another thing. I felt like giving up at times when I couldn't figure out how am I going to get this done, because I had been bred on, or when I got married, I was still like feeling like I needed to be this superwoman and no, I'm going to do it all. And I was running myself ragged. I was like doing when I mean everything, Now I'm gonna be at home before the kids get home. I'm gonna make sure the meals cook. Let me put this load in the washing machine. Let me fold these clothes real quick. I was wearing myself out. I couldn't do it all. You need a team. The other thing is let it go. If you can't get it done, don't worry about it because it's a compromise. You got to give and take. If I didn't worry about those clothes, because I was doing everything, now even my mom today, guys, my mom is still like, you're not going to take care of the clothes and you're not going to put it in the way she comes over. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to close my eyes, step over these pile of clothes, and I'm going to go out that door and follow my dreams and my goals. I am not going to be hindered by making sure, feeling like that this is what it's about, keeping the house clean. Or this is what it's about, making sure I do every single thing with, carrying the kids along the way because I'm hindering them anyway. If I'm just holding their hands through everything, they need to find their own way. See, with us mothers, we need to let go. Just let go. It's going to be okay. And trust the process. Form your tribe.
Yeah, I love that you talked about the generational component here, right? Like our mothers, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, like they were super women for childcare and running the household, but nothing for their dreams and their goals and their aspirations, right? They was everything for the family and nothing for themselves. And we thank God we can do it differently now. We have that opportunity.
Oh, yes. And don't let anyone think that that's what you should be doing. If things have changed, this is 2020. We are in a different season. We can do things. This is the time for women. We thrive. We can do all kinds of things. And don't let anyone they make you think that you can't and you're not worthy. Because and worthiness for me, when I said that, the first word that came in my brain was a box. Don't put me in a box. I want to be free. And I wish I would have learned it a long time ago, but I have no regrets because now I'm here to be able to tell you the things that I went through and the struggles that I have had and I've overcame, and letting you know that you can. That you just have to be strategic in how you do your planning when you are a parent. You just have to be strategic if you're saying if you have another career, but you want to make a shift and a change. It's just strategy. It's all about strategy, but you can.
Wow. So, and you also do coaching, right? Like women can work with you one-on-one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Like this right here talking to you. I love this. I love being able to help people. That was the transition because I realized that if I loved helping people when I was hairstyling and they sat in my chair and I'm hairstyling they would start to, as I'm finishing their hair, they would start to get their lipstick out. They would start to do little things to their face. They sit up differently. I was helping them to transform. They was coming back to themselves. And I love that. And so when you're a hairstylist, you all know if y'all go to a hairstylist, you sitting in there, we are we're the counselors, we're the therapists. We're there, we're giving we're the listening ear. And so I love that. And I felt like, well, hey, I feel like I can help others. And I love helping others in that way. So, yes, you can go to themotivationalmaven.com and definitely I do a free 15-minute shift session with you. And we get this thing on the road and be able to help you go towards to being your highest self.
Yeah. And that's so important, it's great to feel inspired and motivated, but if you don't have accountability, right, which is where a coach really comes in, and strategic, actionable steps to take, then you get all fired up and then you fizzle out, right?
Yeah.
And so if you kind of have somebody like supporting you, coaching you, cheerleading you on, and really about, not that, every step's going to be perfect, but they're strategic, like you said. And then if there's a misstep or quote unquote a fail, that's okay. You just, now and you move on, right? But having that support so that you're not giving up. And I think the thing I find a lot with women and even myself is
dreams where, like, let's say you are working on a second business or shifting to something different. You have to carve out that time, right? Because you have your main duties of your career, your first career, your childcare, your partner, your house, and it's easy to put that to the back burner. Like, oh, I ran out of time this week. I'll do it next week. Oh, I'll do it next week. And then before you know it, months, years have gone by, and nothing's actioned on. And it's like, no, this is important too. And this goal and dream needs to be lived out. And the only way to do that is to put energy around it and attention, and then nurture it, just like any new baby needs to be nurtured and attended to.
Correct. Listen, because we make time for ourselves when we need to. Like, we make time you make our appointment to get our hair done. We get our nails done. When the movies will open up, we might have done that. And that's great, because that's me time. But when you're trying to make a shift and a transition from something that you were doing to something new, it's just procrastination now. If you're saying that you're letting time pass by. So this one thing that I do in one of my free ebooks called From Vision to Fruition, is that I teach about time management. So if you're making an appointment, for example, to go to the doctor, it's an appointment. Usually you're not going to change that appointment unless it's something dire straight has happened and you need to postpone it. Well, that appointment is your appointment. Nothing's going to distract you. No phone calls, nothing, nobody else. You're going to tell them if they say, let's get together at this time, Monday at 2 p.m. You're going to say, no, I have an appointment. It's the same thing when you're making a shift and a transition and do something else. You need to make time to make sure you put it in your calendar, because it's an appointment with you. It's an appointment because it's helping you grow into a new level, into a new sector, a new season in your life. And if you think about it in that way, you treat it just like it is a doctor's appointment. It's in your calendar. You make that appointment, and someone says, listen, I'd like to see can we get together? And you say, let me check my calendar. Oh no, I'm sorry, I have an appointment at that time. And you stick to it. The next thing is grasp on to like 15 minutes. If you're feeling like you're still overwhelmed, you got a lot on your plate, just only do it in little tidbits at a time. Drip by drip, the cup gets full, right? So if you only can do 15 minutes, do 15 minutes a week. At the end of the month, go back and see your progress and see how much you've accomplished since then. Because for one, when you see the accomplishments, it makes you want to dedicate more time to it. So now your 15 minutes will now turn into 30 minutes or more, up to an hour, possibly even more time now, because you want to spend more time doing it. Because now you're seeing the progress and you say, okay, yeah, this is happening. And that makes you want to keep going. So, just put the time in, and don't keep saying you don't have the time. We make time. Listen, I am a closet housewife viewer. I love watching the housewives every week. And so, okay, so why don't I just record it? Or why don't I just say, well, maybe not so much this week. Let me take that time away and let me make a sacrifice to what's something that I want to do that's going to help me get to a new level. It's so worth it.
And I mean, who doesn't have 15 minutes a week? Like, come on. I think it's true. When you're saying, I don't have time. And I get it. As women, we're busy. I mean, we got a lot going on, but you scheduling this time for your vision, goal, dream to become a reality. This is worth your time and your scheduling. And I have to do the same thing with my calendar. I have to book it out and then hold myself accountable to show up for the appointment with myself to do the work. But it is worth it. And I love also how you said that, like, when you look back and see the progress, even though it's these slow bits at a time, it is inspiring, and it does make you want to put more energy towards it. And I think it feels less overwhelming and intimidating too. Once you start, the first step's always the hardest, right? And like, once you've gone beyond that, then it gets a little bit easier each time.
The first step is that is the do it scared part. That is the knees knocking part. That is, I have a habit. You have this old habit that you've been doing things a certain way. And this is shifting your schedule. So you're kind of like, you're on this other path. You know you want to change it, but you just still don't quite do it because you're used to doing what you've normally been doing, right? So now we got to shift the paradigm. We got to turn it upside down and flip it. And then you've got to say, okay, like you started brushing your teeth and it's a habit, you know automatically when you wake up in the morning, I hope that you would get up and brush your teeth. It's the same thing. You need to form a habit. This needs to be another habit. And studies show that it takes 20 days to form a habit. So by the time you get to the 30th day of the month, you're looking at the progress, you're on a roll. Like usually you want to dedicate more time to it, and because you're seeing the progress.
And what about also like recruiting maybe a girlfriend to be like an accountability partner as well?
Yes, absolutely. I have a friend of mine who, at same one I said, who's my friend and my son's and friend's mom, and we go to each other's houses. So we shift. So now the kids are playing together. They're out upstairs, and we've become pretty much like deaf ear to kids screaming and having fun. So it doesn't bother us, and it's actually fun. And we're downstairs, her and I, and we have this big writing board pad. We write on, okay, what are we doing today? We're doing all of these things. We write them all down. We take our breaks. We have our little nuts and snacks and stuff, and we have a good time doing that. And afterwards, we always feel good after we do that. Always, because we get progress. That energy, we're bouncing off of each other. And so then the next week, even if something happens and we can't meet, I'm kind of like, well, how are you going? How are you doing with that? So I'm holding her accountable. She's like, oh, she might get that. This week, wait, hold on. Okay, so what you gonna do? So I'm kind of like holding her to where she's like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go home tonight and I'm gonna get this done and move some things around. Let me go ahead and work on this. So that helps us. Absolutely get your friend. If you do not have someone that you can count on to do that, do not give up. There is social media platforms that you can join. I don't know if anybody still use Meetup, but I still am a member of meetup.com. And there are groups in there that you can get together with like-minded people that do the same type of thing. Because people think we don't need it. We all need someone in this way.
We all need it. And especially with social distancing, has been made things
right.
complicated. To your point, these types of groups are having virtual meetings. So there's still a way to connect and share with a like-minded community, even if it's, through Zoom, for example.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's what they're doing through Zoom. Find a mastermind group that you want to, if you don't, and let me tell you one thing about when I first said I was going to become a motivational speaker, and the like-mindedness, it was a challenge for me. It was hard for me to find someone. And so I think that it was my coach or someone was telling me, well, if you can't find it, then you form it. So I decided to form a group called NOLA Women's Empowerment Group. And we would meet up every month and we would get together and I would bring in speakers. We would talk about motivational things. We would talk about business, just anything that we wanted to talk about that had to do with empowering us. That's what we did. And I did that for about 3 years. And I really enjoyed doing that, helping empowering women. And they really appreciated that.
Yeah. And it comes back, right? When you're supporting, encouraging other women around you, it's amazing how it just, it grows exponentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you can't find it, then form it. I'm telling you. You're saying it's more time spent, but no, it's really not. It's time spent that's wisely spent on still helping to empower you towards your goal.
Mm-hmm. So what other types of activities would you recommend for a woman who is feeling depleted and needing support, like other self-care activities, for example?
Well, you have to do what you love. Hey, listen, get a piece of paper, get a pen, paper, sit down, light a candle. If you're in the tub, just take some time out for you and then sit down and write down and talk to yourself and say, what do I want? If you think about when a baby is a baby and starting to walk and they're starting to do things and get into stuff and they're becoming inquisitive, they are at their most freeing self because there is no limitations on them. What we see in them, if they sing freely. They don't care who's around. They don't care what's going on. If they draw and they do it freely. And to them, it's the best thing since sliced bread. The only one thing that puts limitations on them is us. Because then we start to be saying, no, 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 oh, no, quiet down, oh, don't do that, not now. And so they start to realize and thinking that that's what they should be doing. So go back to where you were, who you wanted to be, or sit down and say, and just count to 5 and say, and just spit it out and say it out loud. It doesn't sound crazy. Hey, I wanted to be a singer. Now, I'm not nowhere near Houston now. Like, really, I can't sing like that. But I mean, I can hold a tune. And that was something I really wanted to do. But I felt the limitations on me and I just didn't pursue it. So go back to those things and write down what you really, if it was you, what do you really want to do? If you don't know, ask 5 of your closest friends. Hey, what do you see me doing? How do you see me when we have a conversation? What would you like me if I did this? Or do you see me in this position? That type of thing. Ask them. You'll find your way, I promise you. Because when we seek things, we will find it. But we have to make the effort towards it.
Right. I think it's just asking those questions. So that's a good point. There could even just be women feeling unfulfilled, but not really even clear about what they want. Like, who are they, what they want? They've been lost, so to speak. And so that's the first step, right? Is just getting really clear and, and putting, I think journaling is really valuable for that, just to let it flow out. And then you get good information about really who are you?
Yeah. And let me tell you, as an adult, we form blockages. We can form blockages. And all of that, like as I was talking to someone and like stuff just started coming up. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Like, oh, I remember when I just started thinking about the fact that when I was in college, because I did go to college for 2 years, I actually took vocal in college. But I had subsided all of that because I guess I felt like, I failed at it, or no, I didn't pursue it. I didn't keep going or whatever. Even if it was just a hobby and I did it, and I just didn't go higher with it, And so you need to get the distractions out of your head. And that's why I say it's important to take some time for yourself and be free and get that journaling in, and then just do that brain dump and just put it out on paper. And then you're going to discover some things that you have hidden along the way.
And that's important to get that out of your subconscious and bring it to your conscious so you can act on it. You can't act on something that you're not remembering or aware of.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, Laquita, do you have any last thoughts you want to share with the audience?
I just want you all to feel empowered. We said a lot of the same things. If I can reiterate, feel free. Feel like you can do it. And most of all, for me, in ending, I want you to feel like you're not alone. That someone somewhere has been through or is going through the same type of thing that you're going through, if you're going through something right this moment. So don't feel like you're alone, and don't feel like, when you see people on social media or celebrities or just friends that they've all got it together. We don't. Listen, we are more alike than we are different. And once we start realizing that we're all on this earth pursuing and trying to find ourselves and being our highest and best self, and just start to realize that, we all here, we should be helping one another and we should be loving one another. Let's do more of that. Instead of that, let's just show more kindness and love towards each other and saying, hey, I got you. You need help. We're here for you. We're not going to be about the negativity. We're going to be about the positiveness. So I want you to live, laugh, love, and be your highest, best self. And don't procrastinate doing it. Just do it. Even if you don't just think about it, just do it. Do it now. Stop waiting and do it now.
Love it. Well, I'm feeling so much more inspired after our time together. I'm so grateful for you to take the time to come on and just to share these tips. This is it, ladies. Stop saying you don't have enough time. We can all make time for what's important to us.
Thank you so much for having me on, Laura. This was fun.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Wasn't Laquita so much fun to talk to today? She is a woman on a mission, and I really appreciate her go-getter, just get it done attitude. And that's why she's become such a success in her own life. And it's something that we can all model for ourselves. I think for me, the biggest takeaway from this episode was the mama self-care component and how we need to work from a full cup in order to live our hopes, dreams, and get our goals done from coming from that place of a full cup, which requires me time and self-care. And if you want to learn more about holistic preconception and having support with a community in the Brayton Birth Method, check out my website at drlaurabrayton.com so you can join my online program and I can help support and motivate you through your perinatal journey.